Hi, it's Matt Ewer from Action Coaching Coventry and Rugby here. We're going to show you a quick model now. We're approaching the end of the year, and for most of us there are some goals we set at the start of the year. We'll have achieved some, we won't have achieved others. One I want to look at is a really excellent model we can use to help identify for ourselves whether our thinking is in the right place or not. And the example I'm going to use to get us going with this will be to think about time, because for most of us as business owners, there'll be times in the last year where we will have said, I simply do not have enough time to achieve the goals I've set. So my business is not as successful as it could be because I don't have enough time. Now, we'd look at this position as denial, because everyone has 24 hours a day, everyone has 7 days a week. Some people will achieve with their business vastly more than others. No, we can build £1 billion business in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because people have done it. We know that's possible. So we have to get away, first of all, from this position of denial. It simply cannot be done. And the real danger with that position is that it stops us thinking. So as soon as we tell ourselves we don't have enough of something, it's not possible, it's impossible, and as a result, we stop trying to come with a solution to overcome that. Problem is, we go from there to somewhere else. Go from denial to excuses. Okay? So yeah, everyone's got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but they don't have small children to deal with. Or they don't have the customer problems I deal with. Or they don't operate in the industry that I'm operating in. And as a result, it's not possible for me. Now, same problem with the mindset here is as soon as we start making excuses or giving reasons, as we like to call them, why it can't be done, then we stop the solution-focused part of our brain from coming up with the ideas and the new stuff that's going to help us overcome that problem. So we've got to step away from there as well. But then we end up here. Even worse, Brexit, general election, weather, other people, that salesperson, the team member who left, whatever it may be, whatever reason it may be, but instead of it being our problem that we didn't have enough time to achieve our goals, we externalize it and we blame outside forces. So we've got to move away from here. So we've got to get above this point, because nothing good happens beneath that point. Nothing productive happens, our brain stops working, we don't come up with the solutions we need to fix our problems. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to take some responsibility, which very simply means I'm the only person here who's going to do anything about this. So if I'm going to organise with my time next year, if I'm going to make a difference in my business next year, then it is my responsibility alone, that is going to end up in us getting this result. So I'm the only person who can sort my time out around here. Now, a step up from that is accountability. Accountability is really important. And the primary difference between accountability and responsibility comes in the clue is in this part of the word, account. So there is a number, there's something attached to this, there's some kind of measurement or written commitment that makes this thing a little bit stronger than before. So if, for example, our goal last year was to grow our business by 20%, and 2/3 of the way through the year we're saying, I don't have enough time to grow it, I can never get around to marketing, I can never get around to selling, I just don't have enough time, then accountability will be able to put a measurement in place for next year and say, well, actually I'm going to spend 10 hours every week on marketing or sales, building tasks within my business, and I'm going to measure myself every week against that. Now, if you have that level of accountability, if you have got a number you're reporting to yourself on every week around the area, then the chances are your thinking is going to be a lot more positive, a lot more focused on what you can do to achieve these things rather than not. And where we want to end up is in a situation of ownership, where, quite frankly, everything is just mine. I've got this, I own it, I sort it. Best example I heard of this was a guy talking about Daley Thompson. And he said for his competitors, if it was a horrible day, if it was raining outside, if it was really wet, then a lot of his competitors would kind of stay in bed and say, oh, no one else will be out training today, it's horrible. Whereas his approach was, in the decathlon Olympic final, it could be chucking it down. This is the perfect day for me to get outside, for me to do something, for me to practice operating these conditions, so that if it comes down to it, I am as fully prepared as anyone could possibly be in order to achieve this. So he didn't think of the weather as an excuse, didn't blame outside conditions, the fact that he was in a particular country and it was chucking it down for the reason why he couldn't get out there and perform. He just owned his own ship, he got out there and did it. So when you're looking at your goals next year, have this sense check, look at this model, think about it. Am I above this point in terms of my thinking, or am I below this point? And if you're above it, you'll have a much more successful year.